Hello everyone, Cup here and welcome back to some more Mechabellum. I had a very cool match yesterday with a couple of neat little tricks. Let's get into the match. I am starting out with cost control. I don't play cost control that much, but I still think it's undervalued. A lot of people don't like cost control, but I think it's actually pretty good. And I'm starting with sledgehammers and arc lights. And my opponent is Giant Specialist with crawlers and sledgehammers. Deciding to add some crawlers myself. Just some chaff to distract. And he doesn't have the best clear for crawlers. Crawlers themselves, but also sledgehammers. Sledgehammers are not the best against crawlers because of their slow attack. And my opponent went for some marksmen, which are also not great against crawlers. So crawlers were a good choice here. My arc lights are doing work. Opponent has marksmen though, and marksmen obviously good against sledgehammers and arc lights as well. And that is making the difference here, this turn. But that's okay. I actually saved 100 bucks first turn, because I like to do that with cost control. You always end up with 100 extra the way I play it, and I just like to have the additional funds for the next turn to then react to what my opponent is doing. And I went for the Mass Produced Wasps again. So wasps are now 100. And wasps are also good here. So my opponent only has 2 marksmen so far that can attack air at all. And as you could see last turn, the marksmen were winning the round basically because they could take out my sledgehammers and my arc lights. So wasps should be really good here. Should be able to both help with damage of course, but also mainly to distract the marksmen. And I'm actually deciding to flank with 1 pack of wasps. And with the 200 funds that I had left, I'm going for the additional HP and attack buffs from the right tower. I usually like to get those kind of early with cost control because I end up having extra money and also obviously cost control. The units are weaker, so kind of to balance them out. And my flank is coming through, taking out the tower. Also wasps are doing wasps things and distracting the marksmen. My opponent went for more marksmen by the way. So wasps were perfect here. And I'm winning this round pretty comfortably. Considering missile strike, however, there is deployment specialist. And deployment specialist with mass produced something, so in my case mass produced wasps, is just free money. I can now, so the downside of buying and selling wasps, so buying wasps for 100 and selling them for 200, is basically that you lose out on buying 1 unit a turn to keep on the board. But now with Deployment Specialist, that is also negated. So basically I get 100 credits a turn for free now. So without a downside basically. So I'm really making use of buying 3 units every turn, maybe even 4, and then also selling some wasps for the 100 extra credits a turn. And I'm also cost specialist, so I'm getting 100 extra a turn from that too. So this is a economy game now. I get so many credits. And I'm deciding to go for Stormcallers. Again, I'm playing Wasps. And I'm strongly expecting my opponent to go into Mustangs now. So Stormcallers are the answer to Mustangs that will probably come up, but let's see. And yeah, I was right. So I always like to do that. It works basically every time. I go Wasps and my opponent then goes into Mustangs, and I already counter the Mustangs the turn that they are built with Stormcallers. I do that quite often, I noticed. There were also some additional crawlers on the left distracting my Stormcallers, and on the right too, I think, but still Stormcallers are doing work. And I'm also about to get the tower. And this is the round for me. Easy peasy. Deciding to skip here. Some more economy. And I'm getting the armor plating on my arc lights. I swapped out something, I think charged shot or something on the arc lights, because carry arc lights are just not happening as much. So I get more use more regularly out of the armor plating. And armor plating really good here against the Mustangs in particular. And I'm deciding to get some Phoenix here, since my opponent is a Giant Specialist, and I'm kind of expecting to come... and I'm kind of expecting Giants to come out at some point. Maybe this turn, maybe next turn or something, I don't know. But Phoenixes definitely help against Giant Specialist a lot of the time. And my opponent decides to place some mobile beacon crawlers in the middle to distract my Stormcallers. Opponent is doing well with spreading their board from left to right, so my Stormcallers are not actually doing that much work right now, because they got distracted for quite a while. Both from the mobile beacon crawlers, but also from the crawlers at the very far left and very far right that came in, and my Stormcallers just didn't really hit. And this is a close round, kind of. My opponent's marksman doing some work. However, I get the tower now. And just one marksman and one sledgehammer left. There we go. Alright, so far so good. Deciding to go for orbital bombardment. Couple of good targets here. Some crawlers and Mustangs, and all the marksmen too. Deciding to buy and sell some wasps. Get those additional 100 credits. And by the way, even when you go for the mass deployment or whatever it's called to get the one extra unit for this turn, you still make plus 50 credits that turn, basically, from selling wasps. So that's fine. And I'm getting more wasps, especially in the middle for the marksman, and I'm giving them shield. So I'm thinking I take out the Mustangs kind of quickly, and they are also only on the outside right now. So wasps in the middle, especially with shield, should hold for quite a while and distract all those marksmen in the middle. And here we go. I'm getting orbital bombardment too, and my opponent played more Mustangs, by the way. Also Mustangs in the middle, so that's not great for me. And my opponent got the anti-missile or the missile intercept upgrade on the Mustangs, so my Stormcrawlers are kind of getting countered a bit here. But at the same time, Mustangs have a lot of jobs right now. They need to take care of the missiles from the Stormcrawlers as well as also kill the Wasps, which worked out this turn. But also his orbital bombardment did a lot. My right side was basically completely dead because his orbital bombardment did basically hit everything. But yeah, I'm losing this turn. The Mustangs, good choice here. Missile intercept as well as deal with my Wasps. And the orbital bombardment was just too strong. Yeah, as I said, when Mustangs get too many jobs at once, they kind of start to become worse overall. Again, selling some Wasps, and I'm going for 4 Stormcrawlers. So I am trying to now basically pressure the Mustangs, because the Mustangs are my problem here. If I can take out or negate the Mustangs, I should win this. And I decided to go for 4 Stormcrawlers to just produce more and more missiles from the Stormcrawlers that the Mustangs eventually won't be able to intercept. And I'm also going for the launcher overload. And now my Stormcrawlers are firing even faster and the opponent's Mustangs should not be able to keep up anymore. Especially if he doesn't buy more Mustangs. I think he might actually not, because he won last round and the missile intercept was already good. So I could see my opponent not going for more Mustangs, and they bought 1 pack of Mustangs, I think, in the middle. Incendiary hitting on the right. The Mustang's not quite driving into it. And on the left, my opponent played Smoke Bomb, and Smoke Bomb is really, really strong, I noticed, especially against Stormcrawlers. So my Stormcrawlers got basically countered there on the left, and I got completely destroyed on the left because of the Smoke Bomb. I keep noticing it more and more. Smoke Bomb is super strong. Again, especially against Stormcrawlers, because Stormcrawlers, they just drive forward and into their deaths, basically. They become frontline units and then they just die. So my opponent won this round because of Smoke Bomb, period. And I'm going for Vulcans here now, to help out with the Mustangs even more. And I'm giving them the Firebomb tech upgrade. Some more missiles that the Mustangs will try to shoot down. But they actually have kind of a hard time with the firebombs from the Vulcan for some reason. They don't hit them as much, it seems. So I'm kind of expecting to at least some fire to land. But even if it doesn't, the Vulcans should do some work. And on the very far left and very far right, my opponent has crawlers that kept distracting my Stormcrawlers too. And those will just die right away to my Vulcans now. I'm selling Wasps and buying new Wasps to get the 100 additional credits. And I'm playing some Wasps in the very far back, so hopefully the Mustangs will kind of be dead by the time my Wasps come in, and then they can actually distract the marksman. That's why I placed my Wasps there in the very far back. And actually, last second bought one more pack of wasps, but I couldn't actually move it, so it's in the middle now. The standard placement. There we go. Fire bombs coming through on the left and on the right. So fire is actually on the ground. So that worked. Mustangs not able to intercept all the missiles anymore. Especially with the fire on the ground now. I actually took out all the Mustangs on the very far left and very far right. Only some in the middle are left now. However, I don't have a ton of Stormcallers left anymore. And they were not able to take out the shields quick enough. And my opponent also has leveled marksmen. So the leveled marksmen really strong obviously against my Vulcans. So I already had 3 shields and I'm just going for 2 more to cover my entire side basically. And with the shield specialist, the shields are just even stronger and should hold out a lot of damage. My opponent also doesn't have the best damage against shields, so hopefully they can keep my Stormcallers alive for quite a while. And I'm also going for a Vulcan in the middle now, because in the middle there was no Vulcan coverage so far, and the Mustangs in the middle survived for quite a while. And now I'm going for more Wasps, and I'm going for a lot of Wasps. So now I have a ton of Wasps that come in late, when hopefully all the Mustangs are dead. And then they can distract the marksman, and the marksman cannot actually take care of my Vulcans and everything else basically. So last round I lost because the marksmen just were alive for so long and were able to just shoot down my Vulcans. And so I think the delayed Wasps should really do some work. And I'm going for the range upgrade on the Stormcallers too, to make sure they can shoot all the way over there and hopefully also destroy my opponent's shields. Fire, far left and far right, and in the middle now too. Mustangs a little bit too long range, so I don't actually stand in the fire that well. And my Wasps that are coming in are alive for quite a while, because the Mustangs again have too many jobs. They are trying to shoot down the missiles and not actually killing the Wasps now. So my Wasps, even though they were in the fight for quite a while and the Mustangs didn't die quickly enough, Wasps are still alive because Mustangs were distracted with all those missiles. And yeah, that is the round. And also a ton of damage and GG. So yeah, I basically sold Wasps, I think, literally every turn, and I made like 500 extra bucks or something. And I was also cost specialist, so 100 extra from that a turn. So I had overall probably like 1,300 or something credits more than my opponent. Shielded Wasps, really good. And again, probably the main thing to take away from this, Mustangs cannot deal with everything at the same time, period. So if you give them a lot of missiles to shoot with the missile intercept upgrade and also a lot of Wasps that they should also take care of, that's just not gonna work. If you just have too much, the Mustangs cannot deal with everything. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.